From Montana's news leader, this is the MTN Noon News.
Good afternoon and welcome to your MTN Noon News this Tuesday. I'm Hailey Monaco. Let's get right to our top story. We begin in Great Falls with the latest update following a carjacking turned murder. A woman accused of causing the death of a downtown business owner after carjacking her vehicle appeared in court to enter a plea in the case. MTN's McKenna Dickey was in the courtroom.
Charges against Kelsey Stagmiller were amended to include deliberate homicide, criminal endangerment, and criminal mischief. Stagmiller appeared in court Monday morning for a hearing to set her bail.
And I think this was very isolated. I don't see any further risk to the community.
Stagmiller has faced 14 criminal cases since 2020 between Cascade and Yellowstone counties. She has also been subject to about 18 arrest warrants since 2020, with 7 of those being open at the time of the May 18th incident. Stagmiller's defense requested her $500,000 bond be reduced to just $10,000.
She was willing to wear a GPS or alcohol monitoring system if possible.
Judge Elizabeth Best said considering the severity of charges against her, the bond will remain at $500,000. Stagmiller was initially charged with robbery on May 18th after reportedly carjacking Sarah Bailey and driving off recklessly as Bailey fought back, which ultimately resulted in Bailey's death. Stagmiller's parents were present in court on Monday but declined an interview. The victim in the case, 50-year-old Sarah Bailey, worked from her Central Avenue tattoo studio for 11 years.
She was an incredible human. She was a bright light, and she did not deserve to go this way.
Her friends say the legacy she leaves behind resonates loudly in the hearts of those who knew her.
As far as our plans right now, it is our intention to make sure that the shop survives and thrives going forward and honors her legacy.
There is another hearing scheduled for Monday, June 16th to set the date for Stagmiller's trial. For MTN News, I'm McKenna Dickey.
On the Highline, a pair of murder suspects were also in court on unrelated homicide charges in Hill County. MTN's Owen Skornick-Hayes brings us the latest from Havre.
We're here outside the Hill County Courthouse where 2 defendants made their initial appearances facing charges of deliberate homicide relating to 2 separate homicides occurring on the Highline within the last month.
Monday morning, Cody Rencurel and Deshaun Chapman both appearing in Hill County District Court for the first time on separate charges. Both men are charged with count 1 deliberate homicide, a felony offense. Rencurel is charged with the May 6th murder of Dixie Schroeder, a Havre resident.
Nice girl. I didn't really know her. I knew her, seen her at the vet before.
Rencurel's bail is set at $1 million. Schroeder was found deceased in her residence from an apparent gunshot wound. Investigators believe the death stemmed from a breakup. Rencurel was apprehended in Kootenai County, Idaho on May 8th and brought into custody. On Monday, he pleaded,
I'm not guilty.
Right, not guilty.
Havre residents still a bit shaken.
I'm sure it's happened at least once in my lifetime living here, but you don't really hear about it.
Then just 2 weeks later, a lockdown in Hingham, just a few miles west of Havre. Hill County Sheriff's Office shutting the town down to apprehend a suspect at large. That man
The court would set that out about a month.
is 20-year-old Deshaun Chapman. Chapman is charged with the May 23rd homicide of Tiffany Niehoff.
I'd like to thank the community of Hingham for their cooperation during our investigation.
A bail of $1 million has also been set for Chapman. Niehoff was also killed with a firearm. That pistol is still being searched for by local law enforcement. When asked, Chapman pleaded not guilty. A deadline to schedule a future court date has been set at July 18th for Rencurel and July 25th for Chapman. From Havre, Owen Skornick-Hayes, MTN News.
Well, it's turning out to be a nice day across a good portion of the region. I want to start off showing a live shot of Miles City. My friends there, get ready. You've had some haze there already from the smoke coming in from the north. Well, we still have a chance to possibly see some of that wildfire smoke over the next couple of days. So if you're out and about, you definitely just want to track that. If you have respiratory ailments, would be a good idea. Other areas, well, we're looking pretty good in Butte. We do have some clouds there. Could see an isolated thunderstorm there. Billings also looking pretty good right now, but maybe a shower and thunderstorm later this evening as well. As you can see, pretty quiet for the most part. We do have some rain off to our west. We still have even some mountain snow. More on that in just a second. But temperatures across the region in the 50s and 60s, and we're only getting warmer. A complete look at your forecast across the region is coming up.
Now time for today's leading look as we follow some of the other stories making headlines across Montana. We now know the name of the man suspected of setting fire to a Southside Billings residence. 27-year-old Reese Gray of Hardin was arrested on Saturday night after witnesses reported seeing him running away from the apartment. Gray was eventually arrested several blocks away from the scene. That fire broke out around 6:45 Saturday evening on 4th Avenue South. 3 people were treated for minor injuries and a cat was found dead inside the apartment. Gray is facing possible charges of arson, criminal endangerment, and animal cruelty. Also in Billings, the third of 3 suspects in the murder of Keith Breckenridge, who was killed during a robbery on Billings South Side, made his initial appearance in court Monday. Brian Dale Contreras pleaded not guilty to a felony charge of deliberate homicide with a weapons enhancement. Contreras is accused of hitting Breckenridge in the head and then stabbing him multiple times in the neck after Breckenridge refused to get out of his truck after giving the 3 suspects a ride. The victim's body was discovered in an alley off of Adams Street. His truck and phone later recovered on the Crow Reservation. Bond for Contreras was set at $500,000. As of this morning, the Banana Lake fire that started just north of Plains over the weekend is now at 15% containment. It was discovered on Saturday around 4:30 p.m. between Locust Hill and Highway 28 and has burned around 850 acres. There are 17 engines, 3 water tenders, and a variety of other teams working on putting it out. There are no evacuations or closures ordered at this time, and the cause of the fire is still under investigation. While firefighters do make progress on that blaze, authorities warn it could be a sign of things to come. MTN's Jonathan Ambarian has more on why Governor Greg Gianforte believes this could be one of the busier fire seasons in recent years.
A few days ago, this hangar behind me would have been filled with Montana DNRC firefighting helicopters. The reason it's not now is that they've already sent air resources to help fight the Banana Lake fire near Plains. It comes as leaders are preparing for what they say might be an active fire season in Montana.
It's got some challenges forthcoming.
State, federal, and local leaders were on hand Monday for Governor Greg Gianforte's annual fire season briefing. Dan Borsum, a predictive services meteorologist for the Northern Rockies area, said in light of lingering drought in western Montana, signs of a hot and dry July and August, and a quickly melting snowpack, the state could be at higher fire danger after 3 below-average years. Gianforte again called for agencies to emphasize quick responses to wildfires and more active forest management, and several of the agencies in attendance said they were committed to the same goals.
We're all in this together, with resources and personnel from the partners gathered around today constituting a critical part of our response strategy.
To get ready for the season, DNRC has been working to upgrade its aviation capabilities. They're modernizing their helicopters' tails, which helps them operate more efficiently. Eventually, they hope to have their spotter planes fitted with thermal detectors, so they can identify fires earlier.
The quicker we can find a fire, the quicker we can respond to it, and get folks into the ground to put the fire out.
Leaders had one more reminder for the public Monday. Most wildfires in Montana are human-caused.
Each one of you can help prevent avoidable fires by recreating responsibly and following fire restrictions, and by preparing your homes and properties by removing fuels within 200 feet of your home to reduce wildfire risk.
DNRC leaders say they're up to about 180 frontline firefighters on staff. That's about 30 more than they had last year. In Helena, Jonathan Ambarian, MTN News.
A small eruption from Yellowstone National Park's Black Diamond Pool was captured on camera Saturday. The eruption was captured on a new webcam at 8:39 p.m. The webcam was installed on May 14th at Biscuit Basin to track activity at the pool where a hydrothermal explosion occurred last summer. According to USGS Volcanoes, this is the first eruption from Black Diamond Pool that has been captured on video since that July explosion. You can learn more details on how the park is tracking volcanic and seismic activities on our website. According to Governor Greg Gianforte's office, Montana is ranked as the 4th most gun-friendly state in the nation. That's according to a 2024 report. This week is dedicated to reminding you to double-check where you leave your firearms. MTN's Ali Kaiser has more insight and details.
According to the Montana Department of Public Health and Human Services, our state has the 6th highest rate of firearm-related deaths in the U.S. It's a statistic like that that's an important reminder to keep your firearms safe and secure.
I've said many times before, you can't call a bullet back. Once the firearm has fired, once the gun has fired, the bullet's off and it's going to go do what it does.
The National Shooting Sports Foundation's Firearm Industry Trade Association hosts Gun Storage Check Week to remind gun owners to check that the safes, lock boxes, and cable locks
A small child can't do anything with this.
Are working properly.
It's a week to think about how are you storing your firearms and are you doing it safely?
A big concern for gun owners is child safety, but there are other risks. The DPHHS 2021 report states firearms accounted for 63% of all suicides in Montana, and one Montanan died from a gun-related suicide every 54 hours. Gun Storage Check Week can also inspire folks to check in with their fellow gun owners if they are concerned for their well-being.
Have a brave conversation. And I think that's how it really engages, because it's not easy. How do you talk about serious things in life? It's always a brave conversation.
It is also important to remember to always treat guns as if they're loaded and keep your finger off the trigger until you're ready to shoot. Now, Gun Storage Check Week will repeat during National Suicide Prevention Month, which is in September. In Helena, I'm Ali Kaiser, MTN News.